Good morning and welcome to Kelly's Anesthesia Tips. This month went by fast, so I'm going to get one in before the end of the month. And I want to start with the Anthem issue. If you're not on social media and you missed this, or on the Anesthesia Coding and Billing Facebook and you missed this, I want to share. And if you are on there and you didn't share, please share, because what starts in one state may cross over to others. And while this is right now just affecting Connecticut, New York, and Missouri, that doesn't mean that it won't be something that Anthem tries to spread to other states. So anyway, I want to start with this, and I want to segue into just making sure you're checking your data and your information. And again, I'll try to keep this short. So, and this is very recent. An anesthesia friend shared something, and then I started seeing it other places as well. The ASA shared this it's been less than a week, on November the 14th, where Blue Cross Blue Shield doesn't want to pay for complete anesthesia time. They want to use some averages that are on an obscure site that I had difficulty finding, but Andrea, kudos to you, another anesthesia friend, found and shared. So of course we'll be sharing those with you as well. So I'm not going to read it, I'll leave that for you, but just know that the ASA is asking for the call to action. And the call to action is that you contact your state insurance commissioner. There's a link here on their site. I'm going to share all of this. And this is what's so disgusting, honestly. We are fighting to keep every penny from our physical status modifiers, from our qualifying circumstances, from decreasing conversion factors every single year lately. Where else can you keep running an anesthesia office on decreased income? I don't know. But look what's happening with the corporate greed, I suppose. I'm going to say it's greed. If we get these 2% decreases every year and they get a 24.12 increase in 1 year, that does not make sense to me. And we're taking care of patients, not me personally, but you guys were on the team with the anesthesia people trying to help them. So they do their job, we do our job, and this is our job. So let's help them there. I'm going to give you this links, and I want to show you two things. Here, if you're not on anesthesia coding and billing, there's 922 members right now, but we share information to try to help each other because, again, we are a niche specialty. Now, if you don't know, you can't use the Control F trick on here. I've tried. So you have to go to the little thing, and I just put in Anthem there. So Anthem will pull you up this link, but I'm going to share them in the YouTube as well. It will also pull up this link to the obscure data that I'm going to show you that I mentioned Andrea finding, and I've saved mine to the hard drive, of course, because I preach that. And I've edited it a little to make it easier for me to read, but I'll show you. Anyway, scroll down, and this is all the information if you've missed it. So let's hop on over. We've checked the ASA, we've checked the Facebook. Let's go here. This is the obscure link that you're going to see, and it's at cms.gov. When I searched, I searched this website. I searched through Google. I tried different words to try to find this, and I did not find it, but I gave up after half an hour or so. So here we go. This is where it is. All the way at the bottom, you'll see CY calendar year 2024 PFS physician fee schedule final rule. So this slipped through somewhere where they go through that process of asking for information or comments before the final rule. And then work time updated December of 2023. Let's go look. I've already hyperlinked and saved it. We're gonna save that step. Here's mine. I called it Anthem reference to CMS so I can find it for me. I've hidden the columns that I don't care about that were empty, but I left these empty columns because I want to say this is ridiculous. So we've got our codes, which if you're an anesthesia friend and you can help me figure out why I cannot find this by either doing that or control Fing, I'll scroll down because I highlighted it, but I've tried fixing this to find them, and whatever I've done didn't work. So if you can help me out there, thank you. Put it in the comments. Help us all. I hid the columns that had the 99 blah, 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 and then I changed one to say total time in hours, which was simply a formula taking their total time, work total time, dividing it by 60, which is how many minutes are in an hour. That's what we need to know. And then this is the total time that they're going to allot you in hours of how long you can spend doing something. This does not make sense for a lot of reasons, but mostly because patients are unique. Surgeons are unique. Anesthesia is unique. You put those three unique factors together, and we have a situation where it may not take 3 hours for X surgeon to do B patient with M anesthesiologist, but you get my point. All right, so I did that all the way down, scrolled, but I really wanted to get to the labor epidural and the C-sections because in my brain, I know that on average C-sections take about an hour. So I'm going to highlight both of these here actually and save, because here they've given you almost 2 hours for the C-section after a labor epidural, which they only give you 5.8 hours for. Even United Healthcare gives you 7 hours, so what are they doing? I do not know. And then a normal C-section that takes about an hour, they've doubled up to 2. Where this data is coming from, I don't know. But now I'm belaboring the point, so I'll share all of this stuff with you. I said I was going to segue, and I am, but let me get to a nice clean one so we don't have to look at this. Look at that one. We'll just go right back to our Anthem stuff here. Okay, so it's important that we pay attention to things like this. It is important that we pay attention to our own data. As a practice administrator, because I've had a long historied career, it's on my resume, those of you who know me know I share it. I watched our data, our internal data, like a hawk. Not just we balanced everything. We balanced payments. We balanced charges. We balanced adjustments. We balanced everything. We watched. Did we get paid too much? Did we get paid too little? We knew exactly what our conversion factor was. If the patient asked us for estimates, we could give them to them. And I share a lot of that stuff on my forms to download page, like the estimator, internal audits, simple internal audits, and things like that. But you guys know, now I have been auditing for almost as long as I had in the field experience. So here's what I find that I want to share. I cannot share anything like particular, but I can share just some generalities. So generally, you want to make sure that you have consistent information. Print out your claim forms. Make sure that the time reported in box 24G matches your time that you have listed. Make sure that matches the actual time that the patient had services, because there are some systems that do really strange things. And if you're not looking at that, you are not finding that. Make sure you understand your own information. I just saw someone post on the Anesthesia Coding and Billing Facebook about broken medical direction and reporting an AD modifier. That's supervision. Supervision is not broken medical direction in every state. Some states define it like that, and I make notes about it because every single review I do, I check what does the state say and I follow that rule. Does it make sense for that state? It might not for another one. So don't report medical supervision when you break medical direction unless you're requested or required by policy or carrier guidance to do so, because it's cheating your practice again. Sometimes. I mean, it may actually work out in your favor if you have short cases with quick turnover. That is a whole nother story, but we shouldn't have to think about how to keep all of this money that belongs to our anesthesia providers for doing the services for the patient. All right, what else? Old coding guidance. So I will find sometimes that someone's using guidance from 10 years ago. Things change. And I did this work, you guys. I know when we're doing the work, we're too busy to keep up with what we're supposed to do, but that's why we send people to meetings. As soon as we learned about meetings in our office outside from Medicare, because Medicare doesn't speak anesthesia, but they sure are good about giving education. They're better now than they were in 1984 through 1996, which is when I depended on Medicare for information. But again, I'm digressing. So what else? I said ADs, inconsistent information, old coding guidance, and then balancing. Will you please make sure that you balance all of your data? I mean, if you don't, then you're getting into territory where this has happened too. You may have someone dishonest that tries to steal money from you. Just shared one for Aetna, who had 2 employees that stole over $1 million. Your office staff, if they're not honest, they could do something similar with refunds because you're not checking and looking and watching to make sure that things balance and that they make sense. Okay, so I said I'm going to do my checklist here. One more thing. Today is the last day of Decisions Health's webinar. I think you might still be able to purchase it. It's $399. What good data they have. What good information. Because we share what we know. You get to ask questions. There's a live Q&A. Today is the last one. Today is Marcy, Dr. Laura, and Julia is going to be speaking. So it's going to be good. If you didn't do it, you missed Doris Brinker, you missed Amy Turner, you missed me. I hope you didn't miss me. And then you missed Pam Linton. We all want to help you help yourselves. If you couldn't make it, I'm pretty sure you can purchase the recordings. If your practice does not have the sense to send you to anesthesia meetings, will you please tell them this is where you get all your updates, this is where you get your information, and this is how you protect them. And last but not least, just yesterday, if you recall my last video that I made in October, and I shared information from some meetings, I shared that people were having problems with CVPs, ultrasound guidance, post-op pain, and yesterday it was reiterated because live we were like, how many people are having denials for this? And not one single no popped up. So please, please tell your practice managers, tell your supervisors, tell your clinical staff, tell whoever will listen that you need this type of education to help them. And that went longer than I thought, but I hope it was valuable to you. I will post again at least one more before the end of the year, but you know how I like to leave you guys, and this time I did remember. So be kind to one another, generous with your knowledge, support anesthesia meetings. We need it. And yesterday, Julia asked, does anybody want to step up and speak? Here's my advice. You can do it. I'm supportive of you doing it. If you have information to share, we want to know too. And don't let fear keep you from doing things that you want to try. I was scared too, and I did it, and I do it, and I'm getting better. And if you watch my first YouTube, and now I'm pretty sure I'm much better than I was when I started. I was not comfortable, but I'm more comfortable now. So do that. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your family, the food. Be blessed, your friends, your anesthesia friends. And that's all, folks.